Yeah, I'm terrible at whistling, which means I've never been any good at doing cat calls. However, that's my own rendition of Proto VAF, or whatever the Proto Man theme music is. I don't remember the correct name if I ever knew it. So yeah, I was at my local Toys R Us because, you know, there are a few half-decent sales this week, and I still am looking for the DC Universe Classics Lex Luthor Supergirl 2-pack, which might not technically be out yet. When I ran into this guy, and I was like, wow, I can't believe they're making Mega Man figures and so forth. Just because, I mean, it just seems so random given the fact that the franchise has been around all this time, and the last time they had a figure run, I think, was in 2004 when, who was doing it back then? You know, I can't even remember, but they did a retro line and they did a more realistic line, neither of which was great, but, I mean, this one is kind of like one of those Mighty Mugs or whatever things. I don't know what the technical thing is called, because it's not really a Mighty Mug. But, yeah, it's very neat. I'm just surprised that they managed to pick up the license for this, or that they would, but supposedly Mega Man 10 is around the corner, so might be part of it. Now, the last time they did a retro line, Lek-Man was included in the retro line. It was, like, impossible to find. Although, I mean, not a ton of retailers were carrying the retro line. Some were carrying the realistic line. I mean, I saw Protoman in stores once or twice, but I didn't pick them up for some reason. I probably should have, but I still have my old Ruby Spears one from the old cartoon show. And, you know, that one's a lot better than anything I've seen since. But I figured this makes a great desk accessory. It wouldn't really look odd in an office setting or so forth. Whereas the other ones, which are more traditional action figures, kind of are a bit iffier. By the way, like, every time they decide to make figures, you'll usually see a Mega Man, sometimes you'll see a Proto Man, but you'll almost always see either Cut Man or Gutsman, which has always struck me as a little bit odd. Plus the Lek Man is, I guess, another really big fan favorite. Now, from the original 5, you almost never see Bomb Man, which, I don't know if it's just because he's more of a kind of iffier character, but he had a really cool design and everything, so it's kind of disappointing you wouldn't see him, whereas Iceman, was it Iceman? Yeah, I think it was Iceman. It just looks like a freaking Eskimo. He looks like a mini version of Captain Cold. But yeah, very nice figure. I'm going to take it out of box, although it's going to look basically the same as this anyway, because I mean, there's really not much articulation, so stay tuned. As you can see, though, the packaging here is all pretty nice. It's all very well in theme with the whole Mega Man. In addition, it's got the logo, which, I mean, it's a great looking logo. I mean, it really captures the 8-bit look of it. Proto Man is, of course, adorable, although he doesn't really stand well on the mat. All the ones I saw had paint defects, though. This one has the paint defects on the upper helm. A lot of the other ones had on the lower side, which I couldn't take. I mean, I have to have the visor looking okay, no matter what, especially because it's more visible that way, I think. He's got some sort of a weird looking thing on this gauntlet here, so there's a glove. I don't know what the deal with that is. For whatever reason, they didn't decide to not give him like a really fully blown scarf. Instead, it's just painted on, which looks kind of cheap. There is a bit of sculpting on the helm here, which looks neat. I never even noticed this on the character himself before, so I don't know. Otherwise, really looks great. The only problem is this doesn't clip all the way. I believe it, yeah, here it goes. It unsnaps for like a normal looking hand, but if you're familiar with the characters and the games and so forth, their arms actually go all the way up here, so this is actually like a gauntlet piece, as opposed to an arm piece. And like their arms like slide into the gauntlet itself, so this isn't like really a realistic interpretation. And there should actually be one on each arm. Let me just quickly pop that back on. Now, I got this guy for $10, which I feel is kind of a rip-off. I noticed that a lot of the Mighty Mugs and stuff they charge like around the 10 mark for, which I mean, let's be honest here, folks. I mean, how much are they really doing? I assume a lot of it's they're just passing on their licensing fees. But I mean, sculpt-wise, all these Mighty Mugs / Mighty Mugs equivalents, because this isn't an actual Mighty Mug, I don't think, just have the same basic mold, and they just have a different head sculpt, and then, I don't know, a little bit different here and there. But I mean, it's just such a horrendously large amount of money to pay, but I'm going to hang on to my receipt, and if I see him at Target or wherever for cheaper, I'll buy another one, then return that one to Toys R Us to make up the difference, or pop him back in package, then return this one there, I don't know. But all in all, you know, he's a cool figure. I'm kind of happy I got him. Just price-wise, I don't think it's really a bargain or what have you. And, you know, he's definitely be a pretty cool addition to, like, any workspace or home space or wherever. I'll probably also pick up a Lek-Man or Cut-Man. I'm not sure. Probably a Lek-Man. Mega Man, maybe not. Just because, I don't know, it doesn't thrill me. And I don't know if they'll be doing any more from this series, or even if I'd want any of the other Robot Masters just at this price point. But just a quick look. Until next time, folks.